Can he get around his man? He can! Look at the gas! Look at the gas! Try! Welcome to ODT Rugby Chat, brought to you by Garrador. Back for another week. I'm still on my crusade to get all the coaches in. So this week I've got Willie Holla from Zingari. Welcome along, mate. And I've got long-time coach Andy Hunter, getting a bit grey, mate, from Kaikorai. So Andy, I'll start with you. You're unbeaten, but you didn't play the first game of the season. You had a bye. So why are you unbeaten?
Oh, that's a good question. We've had two reasonably convincing games, which is a good way to start. The bye was, a little bit niggly at the start. I think we had, 6 trainings as a squad before our first game, so we're pretty well prepared, to be honest. And there's sort of pros and cons to having a bye first up, but it's fine for us. You've got to get it sometime.
It's got to be a bit of a pain in the arse though, because everybody else is playing and your boys are, cutting your teeth.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do at training, but what I thought it did for us is we were just really well prepared.
Yep.
Instead of hitting our first game, sort of not having massive clarity, we probably hit our first game having answered all those questions. So yeah, it was fine for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Righto. Willie, we'll bring you on, mate. So you're unbeaten as well. And I tipped you boys out to win the competition this year, which I thought it might have been a stretch, but you're now 3 from 3. So why are you unbeaten?
I think a lot of hard work. We put in a lot of hard work in the last couple of months as a club and as a team. And so I think our environment has been conducive, and that's just transferred over to the field. It's been challenging, but one of the things we've talked about as a team is trying to learn how to win again. We learn how to win as a club and as a team.
So you've certainly learned that, because 3 games in 3 weeks you've won basically in the last second of each of the 3 games.
Yeah, it has.
How's the heart, mate? How's the heart?
Yeah, heart attack moments and those sort of moments, but been really proud of the boys to play a full 80 against Harbour, Tyree, and then Dunedin has been unreal. And that's probably been credit to our team, preparing them mentally, just to remain composed really in those key moments. So, and it showed good character, good resilience, and that's been our focus.
Okay, right. We'll come back to that. So let's talk about Kaikorai, Andy, as a club. What are we like? Numbers and teams. Are we on a par with where we were last year?
Yep. Good numbers right across. So Premier Development grade.
Because I heard you were struggling in Prem 2s.
For a minute we were,
right,
and then all of a sudden,
just come out of
the crowd draws a crowd.
Yep.
And they've had 2 convincing wins in 2 weeks. So I think they put 70 points around Harbour Prem Development last week. So, and I think 70 around AU Prem Development the week before. So yeah, they're decent.
Yeah.
Good PCs team and 2 junior Colts.
So how's because they've only played a couple of games, but so your Prem Colts, I see, had a trot out at the weekend. You might have played Zingari.
Yeah.
They went okay.
Yeah, 30 points. I'm going to say.
Well, that's the first. Was the first game. Wasn't
it was.
Sorry. Yeah.
Look, there's some really talented young players on the Colts team as well that we'll do a wee bit of sort of mentoring with to get up to speed for Premier Rugby at some stage.
I watched Dunedin and Kaikorai go at it a couple of weeks ago in a pre-season game, and Kaikorai came out on top in that game. So they both sides they're pretty strong in that grade, as you know. So Kaikorai will definitely be just as strong.
I would have thought so. I haven't seen the whole grade. I don't really know what other clubs are up to, but from what I've seen, they'd be strong. And you've still got 2 teams in junior Colts? 2 junior Colts teams. We've got the Undertakers, who are looking really good, and the Mighty Cobras, who train once a week mostly, I think, and enjoy off-field camaraderie most weeks. But they'll be decent again, I'd say. And you've still got a women's development team? Women's development. They fell short of getting the numbers really to play to go up Premier level, which was a shame. Yeah, they worked really hard at it and just didn't have the numbers. Okay, right, mate. So look, tell me, there's a massive transformation at Zingari, right? So you've got teams in all grades. You've got a good solid Prem 2 side. They might have played the Sharks on Saturday, and there was only 2 or 3 points in that. So talk me through the depth in the club. What else have we got? You've got a good Prem Colt side, you've got a junior Colt side as well. Tell me what's going on.
So we've got 6 teams in the club. Again, there's been a lot of work done throughout the summer as I've come into the role. So my team, the recruitment team, the club, have done really well to recruit a lot of those players. So good strength in the Prem Colts. We've got a lot of strength from that, from players coming outside of Dunedin, also the locals and the club ones that been there last year, because there was a good Colts team last year.
Yeah, they made the top 4 last year.
Top 4 last year, and so yeah, we're just trying to build on that, and then our Prem development and the Prems. What we've done this year that's kind of different from the previous years is our Prems and Prem development are training together.
Yep.
They have analysis together, reviews, just so that we have a motto called One Club.
Yep.
And so that builds and demonstrates to our players that if you want to go to that next level of Premier Rugby, then next man's up.
And so junior Colts, what's your junior Colts side? They were a bit weaker last year. They had some. I was talking to Matt Blair about it last year, and he was pulling his hair out a bit. So where are they now?
So just a good boys, good mates. One of the guys that's in our Prem Colts, he's got a group of mates that's 18 players that came from all one house.
Right.
So that's they all just wanted, so they all just wanted to just have a bit of banter,
right,
good camaraderie, and they have a buzz, bring in good vibe and energy. So we just allowed them to bring that into that space.
Right.
Yeah. And so.
And they played obviously because I think Cam Burrows might have refereed that game from the team. We'll talk about him shortly. But did they go all right in that game?
Yeah, they did well. A lot of them are just first years as well.
Yeah.
They just want to get out and have a go.
Yeah.
And then you got the others that have played and just have a good time, really.
Right.
So.
Okay, so from your point of view, the numbers, and I mean, like Zingari are a success story because the numbers on the way out. Okay.
Yep.
Righto, so talk to me, Andy, about, because you're currently running, 2 or 3 or 4 landers playing each week. So you've got Reece Patchell, I had a good chat with him yesterday. You've got Will Tucker. You've got Hayden Michaels, who's a Kaikorai player, and so is Will pretty much anyway. Yeah. But is that a bit of a pain to bring those, especially say a Reece Patchell coming in?
Not at all. No, it's not really. We're delighted to have them, and I think Willie will be the same. Clubs are obliged to support them, and if their players like Will, for example, is coming back from injury, so the more we can help him get back to first team status with the Landers, the better. So we're just there all the time. The effect that they have on our trainings and on our players is really neat as well. So I mean, Hayden's been with us a while, and same with Will. So they're good club boys, and Reece is awesome.
Well, talk to me about that, because I did a rugby chat, a Highlanders chat with him yesterday. He's a really great guy, as you know.
Yeah.
So what's he bring? Like he said, he's loving it. He loved the experience of being up there.
Yeah.
I said, surely he could go to a better club than that. But he said, no, so I'm really enjoying the experience. I said, where did you enjoy the going to play at Harbour, the worst ground in the world? And he said, he said there's worse grounds in Wales than that. But he said he really enjoyed the experience because he hasn't played a lot of amateur rugby.
No. Well, yeah, exactly that. He's fitted in really well. He's a student of the game.
He wants to be a coach, as he probably told you.
Well, he's and you see good habits with pro players, and he's got his notebook out all of the time at our reviews and previews, at trainings. He's taking notes all the time. So he's well prepared. So, he just sets a good example.
Well, the boys will be looking at that in amazement, won't
they? It shows that he doesn't come in and take it for granted, and I really like that. He speaks really well. I said to him before last week, I said, mate, can I play you at fullback? And he was a wee bit worried about that, just wondered how his legs would stretch. Yep. But no, he was great. Just a good lad and fitted in really well.
Excellent. Now you had, speaking of the Highlanders for you had Max Hicks playing on Saturday.
Yep.
And, in fact, he set up that match-winning try for you. So how's he fitted in?
Well, really well. He's brought a high level of standard, and there's Andy mentioned, just having these players as high quality players just adds to the environment and what we're trying to build with the players.
Well, look, the big question, mate, I've written a couple of weeks ago that Zingari have got the biggest budget in New Zealand rugby now. They've got a bigger budget, the Highlanders and the Otago team combined, with all these new players arriving. And you and I had a chat a couple of weeks ago, and you were horrified by that. So, and there's a lot of rumours around town that Zingari has spent all this money. So, this is your chance.
I wish we had thousands of dollars, Paul.
Right.
But the reality is it's club rugby, and for us, the approach for us and our recruitment team has been more about values, our vision, our mission, our identity as a club, because there wasn't really anything that we could go and recruit with as in performance-based with rugby. So the only thing that we could really recruit with was our mission and our values, and that's all the work that we've done in the previous at the end of the season of our team, with the club coming up with our vision, our plans and the direction. And when we met up with players, it wasn't about just, oh, this is how much we can offer you. The budget's really low, so we don't have $1,000.
Well, we've got no money. There's no money at Kaikorai.
Yeah, so the splashing cash, nah. The rumours of spending thousands of dollars is definitely not it's a no-go for us. But am I saying we're not offering scholarships? We are. Right. But there's a cap to those scholarships.
How many scholarships have you got, for example?
At the moment, we've got roughly at least just under 5.
Right.
You know, and so that's, for us, that's more than enough. I'm pretty old school because you want players to actually come and genuinely be a part of the club.
Yep. And
play for the club, go to war and be present with the club. So it's not about under obligation of you're getting paid this amount of money. It's you're going to be a part of this environment, give back to the club, and then the club will look after you at the same time.
Yep.
And so that's how our approach has been, and thankfully enough, it's worked in our favour. Brought in a lot of good players to the club, but I think culture and environment has been the biggest shift. It's been the key.
Well, I was amazed on Saturday. There was a lot of smiles on faces at the Zingari club, and a lot of them gave me stick, which I totally understand. I'm happy to take that. But look, it was just good because I've always liked Zingari as a club, and they've gone through, and Andy will back me up on this, they've gone through year after year after year of finishing bottom 2, bottom 3, and you always walk into the club rooms and it still feels like a rugby club, doesn't it, Andy?
Yeah, good. Really, always been a good environment. We've got a lot of good mates here as well, and they never give up, you know. But yeah, it's a well-run club and always a good place to go and visit.
And look, just before we go to look at our Form 15 lads, I've been going on about referees for the last couple of weeks, and we just don't have enough of them. So I've run a piece in the paper tomorrow. We went down and shot a wee clip that we're going to put with this Rugby Chat tonight. I sat down and did 10 minutes or 15 minutes of this course with Brandon Haar, with a couple of other people yesterday down at Varsity. And so they're trying to get as many people through that associates referee course as they can, so they can come and do some games at school level and in up to under 19s. So what's happening? What are you boys? I mean, this is a club responsibility. It's not their responsibility. So what are you guys doing at Zingari? Are you trying? How many guys can we get from Zingari to come and do this assistant referees course?
I probably can't give you a number of how many guys can. But we have, we're starting to put it out there into our community and our club in terms of really helping out our referees. That's such an integral part. And so for us, we're talking about those things in the prem level. Even we have bye weeks coming up.
So are you supplying boys to referee tomorrow?
Nah. So I've spoken to Brandon. I thought that was the case, but it's the next bye in the second round. So,
it's the second round.
Yeah, because in the college rugby, the under 14s.
Right. So they're not doing it in round 1. Nah. But you'll guarantee that you'll have your boys
100%.
all turning out.
Yeah.
So what's happening at Kaikorai around this?
Yeah, we'll be the same, and our players will support that. Brandon's been up to the club to run one of those courses.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I think there were about 4 people there.
Yep.
So. It might be 4 that they didn't have before that, so that's positive.
Well, I think we've got to do a lot more work, lads. I've written a piece tomorrow that I understand that John McClashin College have put 43 kids through. Wow. They've put 43 kids through that course. So I've sent a challenge out to the other schools in the paper tomorrow. Well, if they can do 43, how many can Otago boys do? How many can Tyree High School do? I think that's the way we got to. But we have to look at this collectively as the rugby community to solve this problem.
Yeah, 100%. We have to. Can't just leave it on Brandon Howell and his team. It's a rugby issue, and it's a community, and it's a regional issue. So we've got to come in together.
Can you get some of your primary school kids to do this, or were they just a wee bit early?
Might be a bit low.
But that's pretty cool though from an education point of view. The fact they've put 43 kids through.
Totally. No, good on them. No, others could do the same, and even out of those 43, if 4 pick up the whistle later in life, that's well worth it. Yeah.
And lads, let's just go to this clip now and see what we did yesterday down at Rugby Unit headquarters. Right, I'm just with Brandon Hale. I've just been through the first part of the referee coaching course. Apparently, how am I going so far? I'll be passing with flying colours, surely?
Oh, firstly, it's the associate referees course, and so you have been doing pretty well. I do think you need to come back for a bit of extracurricular work there.
I know that we've still got. I know you're doing courses, mate, all around the province, as you told me the other day. So we've got. Tell me where the next 4 or 5 sets of next 4 or 5 courses are.
Yeah. So we've got Tairi next Wednesday night at 6 p.m.
Which that's out at Tairi.
It's out at Tairi, yeah. So we've got a few registered people for that, which is looking like it's going to be a humdinger.
I hear you've got Richard Perkins, the godfather of Otago rugby, at that.
Oh, he just can't stay away from footy, can he? But again, it just shows the man he just wants to keep on giving back and being involved in footy.
So you've got one there, and where else? And you've also got a couple around the province as well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so tonight we've actually got one in Balclutha to help upskill their folk, and then we've got one in a couple of weeks' time focusing on our wahine as well.
Right, mate. Look, we've been through the first part. Look, it seems to be a really simple course. So anybody can do this. If you're reasonably fit and you want to do something, this is the thing to get into.
Oh, 100%. And I don't think you have to be reasonably fit. You just have to be able to move with both legs going, to be honest. Anyone can do it. And I think a lot of people will be quite surprised about how much knowledge they already have. And this is just to provide a bit more confidence so they can in turn be a bit more competent on the field.
So they can referee games, but they can't manage. If they're refereeing, you don't have live scrums, correct? Tell me why.
That's correct. Yeah. Well, there is a safety element that goes along with that. We do provide the tools to ensure that they are as safe as possible, but you do have to become a registered referee and get more upskilling in that field in order to be able to have contested scrums.
But to go to these games, you give them like the 2-hour course. We've been through half of that, and I've still got half to go. But then, are you reasonably confident they come through that course, then they can go out and do a pretty reasonable job?
Oh, absolutely, no doubt. I think they'd be great, to be honest. Again, like I said, they've already got the skill sets. They know rugby, they love rugby, they know how the game should be played. It's just about arming them with a few extra tools. Okay, mate. And what's the key message? Because I was looking at crowd behaviour up at the Zingari and Andy game on Saturday, and I thought most of it was okay, but there's a few things that probably didn't need to be said. So what's your message to those crowds? Oh, again, just a reminder that we're all volunteers and we're all human. You know, we love the game just as much as players and spectators do, and maybe just have a think before you say something, and be prepared to put on the boots and blow the whistle as well yourself. Good to see. Well done, mate. Thanks for that, and hope things go well over the next couple of weeks. Right, boys, look, we're going to run out of time, so we'll come back. There's a couple of things we want to talk about, but let's go. We'll run through the Form 15 and get that out of the way, and then we'll come back and talk about some rugby this weekend. So we're going to make a lot of changes, lads, I'm afraid. So Charlie Breen, now did he go back and play Colts at the weekend?
No, he was injured.
He was injured?
Yes.
Right,
yeah.
So that actually worked out all right. That's why you had Reece playing fullback. Righto, so we're going to put... we're going to put Mackenzie Palmer in, as we know. You boys you'll have seen him last year, Willie. He's just a good club player, this kid.
Yes.
So the wingers, we're changing both the wingers. So they're coming out, so because they didn't play, they're both varsity boys. So Aaron McMurray and Jeremiah Hussey both coming out, and we're going to put in the wingers in that Dunedin game against Zingari scored 7 tries. So we are going to put both them in. So. Let's talk about Willie. Let's talk about Josiah Sakari. I've never seen him play before. I thought he ran in that 95-metre try as well. Where's he come from?
He's come from Hawkesbury, Wellington. So he's been part of the system. Wellington Hurricanes 20s. Great kid. Brings a lot of enthusiasm, excitement, confidence as well. So yeah, and a good winning mindset too, which adds to the team.
He's got a big kid too. He's got a solid kid.
Solid kid.
And what did you think of this kid here? I thought that was one of the best tries I've seen. He's very quick, this kid.
Very good.
Yeah, he played. He's been out for a whole season. He didn't play last year, but I thought he's a talented kid. We're going to drop. Opatiah Samati. He comes out. He was only in there as a stand-in because I couldn't find a winger last week. Josh Fonga. Josh Fonga's coming in. He's lost his thing. I'll just drop him down there. So Josh Fonga is coming in. Boys, we all know who Josh Fonga is. He goes pretty good. We are going to drop Cam Burgess from Dunedin. He played a pretty good game for them, apart from that dropout 22 at the end when he put it out the full. That was a bit of a... Well, great for Zingari.
That's great for us.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm going to put in Nick Prophet. I haven't seen much in Nick. I've seen him play a bit for you boys, but my guys that were at the game said they were pretty impressed.
Oh, give him space and time. He's a talent, absolutely. No, great running game.
So where's he come from?
He's Gisborne. He's got a brother who plays for the Chiefs. He's a prop for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, he's down here doing dentistry, so he's, I'm going to say he's about fourth year now, or fourth year, I think. So,
right.
Yeah, no, he's a talent.
Okay, and I'm sorry, we're going to get rid of Phil McKenna. Did he play for Southern last year?
Yeah,
he did? Yeah.
Prem Colts.
Yeah. We're going to put in Dylan Pledger now. Tell me about this, Willie. Look, I haven't seen a lot of this kid play, and you probably... Oh, no, I'm sorry, Andy. Well, I haven't seen a lot of this kid play, but he doesn't want to stay on the board. But we'll just leave him there. So, mate, are you now going to lose him? Yep. Is he now gone?
Yeah. So they go for the next 4 weeks, more or less.
And then what happens? Then they come back and they go again, don't they? So
they've got two, basically 1 month programs. So the first one's, I think, on the Gold Coast with 20s, and then they're off to the World Cup in South Africa.
So you might only get 1 or 2 more games from them. That would be it.
Well, it depends how they come back in. After their
first 2 weeks.
But
is he because I haven't seen enough of him, but is he as good as they say he is?
He's got a very, very good skill set. He's rugby smart.
Right.
He's only little, so...
He's not a big kid, is he?
But great tackle technique.
Yeah.
Understands the game. His core skills are very strong.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've convinced me. I'm happy that he's in. So now we're going to move in. We're going to drop Taylor Dale from Harbour. We're not having a great start to the season. We're going to put in Conrad Toliafar. I thought this kid was a standout last year, lads. Yeah. You would have seen him better when you were at Southern last year. But he's a genuine talent.
Yeah, he is. Great kid too, off field. Great talent.
Well, wasn't he one of your boys coming up to Zingari?
No.
Well, that's what we heard.
Oh, no, just staying.
So you've seen him. He's a good kid.
Yeah, he's a very good player. I like him.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah,
he's a talent. Righto. So we're going to go into. We're also going to make a change at Jordan Dwight comes out from Southern. Oh, it's all falling apart on me today. And we're going to put Amos Roddick in. You boys won't have seen him play this year, but when you play Green Island, this kid's out of Hawke's Bay, and I think he's pretty special. This is number 7, and we're going to put in Will Tucker. He's going to come in for... Will Tucker is going to come in for Corbin Agar from Southern. So he comes out and Will Tucker. But I mean, I don't normally put Highlanders in, but I think, he's a Highlander, but he's been a Kaikorai for 3 years now. Yeah. And he's another really good kid, isn't he?
Top man.
Yeah.
Real good citizen around the team and around the club. We just hope that he, gets fit again and gets a look at.
Well, they need to get these boys playing, don't they? Because we are a bit thin at lock right now in the Highlanders. And we're going to put in Sepp Farker comes out for the Sharks. He comes out. We're going to put in Josh Taylor from AU, but I think they deserve a bit of a plug. They're still playing. They're having a few tough weeks. But I think that was Joshua's 50th game, and apparently he played okay against Southern on the weekend. Was it Southern? No, it was against Green Island. Right, boys, let's move on. Just firstly, Willie, how did you beat Dunedin last week? I was trying to write that up on Sunday, and I really struggled.
Good question. No, I think we just came back more because the game plan was to go out to the width, and that's where we thought that they'll be really weak. I know for them, they thought our mauls and our forwards are dominant, which we are, but we thought we'll change up the tactic a bit and go through and cut them up in the edge. So thankfully enough, we scored most of the tries out in the edge. So yeah, they listened. So
yeah, it was interesting because I was expecting big things from your pack, but like Dunedin got 2 25-metre rolling maul tries, for example, and you'll have a bit of work to do on that in bye week.
Yeah, I was quite disappointed about that.
I saw the look on your face because I was down that end when you were watching and sort of thinking,
absolutely.
They all just fell off for something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, just a bit of complacency, but again, boys came back and able to execute in that second.
Well, as you talked about, they're certainly playing for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
100%. Right, boys, we better move on to this. Let's just before we do that. Now I hear the Intercept King is finally playing his 100th game, Jordan McEntee.
Yep.
That's pretty cool for him.
Really cool. Yeah, no, he's, again, just a really good citizen, good man to have in our team. But Geordie's rugby smart as well. You know, he's only a little guy, and for, you know, in a time where wingers are often the opposite to him, you know, Geordie would be, you know, be 85 kilos dripping wet, I would have thought. But really plays above his weight, and yeah, it's for us, it's recognising his commitment and dedication to one club for that time. It's pretty rare.
Mate, how many intercepts would he have got? They must, Lee Ashton must have worked that out.
Lee will probably know.
Can you ask him for me? Let me know, because I just think he just seems to. He would score 1 or 2 a game, and that's about the rugby smarts we're talking about.
Yeah. And he's been playing league as well.
I see that.
In late season, and that's been really good for him personally, just physical confidence. So, yeah, no, we're stoked for him. So it'll be a good.
I'm pleased to see he's made it. Like, and like he's a bit of a character, and the game needs characters, mate. And he's a character.
Yeah, no, he's a great chap.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk about these games. I know you've got a bye this weekend. Is that good for you to have a bye at this stage or not?
Yeah, 100%. Real good. We've had 3
tough games,
and to walk away 3-0 has been absolutely amazing for the boys.
Okay, let's talk about. So Kaik have got Tyree at home. What are you thinking?
I think Kaik. Yeah, I'm putting my hand on Kaik. Not just because Andy's sitting across the table, but more the fact just watching and seeing what they're on the good form at the moment. Right.
So what are you picking? Where I mean, you're going to pick Kaik, but what are you going to do to beat Tyree this weekend?
Oh, they're a handful always, and they don't go away. So, you know, I know that they've lost a couple of, you know, pretty important players, but they ask questions all the time. So we just got to get, you know, good set piece going and get, you know, hold possession for periods of time, and hopefully, you know, good things come.
I'm a bit worried for them, to be fair. I was talking to Mike Casey during the week, and they've now lost 3 props.
Yep.
And they thought they might have flown one of their boys down to play last week.
Yeah.
And now I hear on the grapevine, I hope it's not true, but I hear on the bench tomorrow is none other than Dean Collins at 39 years of age.
Stop it.
That's what I'm hearing. That's the word on the street.
Good on Dino.
After 2 games for the mighty senior side.
Wow.
So I think he could be.
So not having a Prem development team is hurting.
It's going to hurt them. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with you. So GI at home have got Harbour. What are you thinking?
Green Island.
Green Island. Just to be a bit too strong for them.
Yeah, Harbour. Really, they were difficult last week for us, but yeah, I think Green Island are on a bit of a roll.
And they've got some good young players. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'd say Green Island, but I'll go with Harbour on this one.
You go with Harbour?
I'll go with Harbour.
Okay, so we'll come back to you then. We're going to go to the AU Varsity game. Both these sides haven't got points on the board yet. I presume you're picking Varsity to beat AU?
Yeah, I will.
Too strong?
Too strong.
Yeah.
I think AU will put a fight in the first maybe 20, 30 minutes, but I think I'll put
one of the things I am going to talk about, boys, because it's going to be quite interesting. Think about this for a minute. So, Dun Shay, the other lock from the Highlanders, plays for a land reunion last week against Green Island and played pretty well, apparently. But this week, he goes back to Varsity and he's going to play against the team he played last week. That is bizarre. But anyway, so AU Varsity, what are you thinking?
Varsity.
Okay. And in the last game, the repeat of last year's final, Southern unbeaten, Dunedin going, let's be honest, they're going pretty average. Dunedin versus Southern at home.
Close. Southern, just.
Going Southern?
Yeah, just.
I'll go with Dunedin.
You're going with Dunedin?
Yeah. I think they're a big pack, and they always seem to be a bogey team for Southern at home too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So look, from my point of view on those games, Kaik versus Tyree. Look, I'm feeling for Tyree a bit, but as these boys talked about, they don't give up, but they're pretty small this year, and with that front row crisis they've got, and Kaikorai with one of the strongest front rows in town, I just don't see them getting near Kaikorai. Green Island versus Harbour. Harbour have had a really tough start to the competition, and this doesn't get any easier out at Green Island. Those boys are fizzing out there. Finchie's got them going really well. I think they're too strong. Varsity and AU. Varsity could have easily won the 2 games that they lost, could have easily have won those games. So I think they come in and they'll be too strong for AU. And Dunedin versus Southern, this is a repeat of last year's final. Southern going as hot favourites. I'm going to pick Dunedin, but it'll be very, very tight, and it'll be a good game. But if Dunedin can get enough ball and get it out wide, they might just get over the top of Southern. Or just before we finish, the winners of our bottle top quiz, the last two in the ODT Friday lift out. The first winner was John Crowley, congratulations to him. And in week 3, the winner was Laurie Dolan. So just make sure you look out for that Spates bottle top quiz in your ODT tomorrow morning. And we will be back again with you next week. Can he get around his man? He can! Look at the gas! Look at the gas! Try!